Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to preview round 21 of the 2024 NRL season. Just got all the numbers confused in my head there for a second. But as usual with the round preview, we will look at the most popular captaincy options, trade-ins, trade-outs, as well as obviously the adjustments to my team. So as you can see, we've already loaded up the trade-ins this week, and a clear favourite. And I think if you haven't got him, I guess the only reason you wouldn't bring him in is you haven't got trades left. But Nathan Cleary, sort of with his points on the weekend, 105. His break even is somewhat achievable this week, so potentially the cheapest you could get him. Maybe if you're playing head-to-head, you could wait a week. Would be maybe the one group of players that wouldn't get him in. But as you can see, he's gone up by 34,000 this week. So definitely, I think a trading option, almost a must-have. Casey McLean at number 2. So obviously bottom dollar, cheapy, on the bubble this week. Has a somewhat decent job security with Alamotti out injured. So I think, if you are looking for a cheap option, might be worthwhile getting in for points and cash generation. But obviously also not a big auto emergency risk as some of the other cheap options. Tom Trbojevic at number 3. So an interesting one given, he's elevated in price so much. Got the Roosters this week, and then has the bye next week, I believe, is when the Manly bye is on. Just confirm that. Yeah, so no fixture round 22. So I guess if you are comfortable holding him after, potentially quite a game against the Roosters, bring him in. Otherwise you could, if you can hold a week, you might be able to sort of look at Dylan Edwards or Trell Mitchell. Those more point of difference options could be back around the time you'd want to bring Turbo in anyway. In saying that, as you can see, I own him. I've captained him the last couple of weeks, which has been epic. So I wouldn't begrudge anyone bringing him in, but I'd go Cleary first if you're trying to get one of the big hitters in. The Hammer at number 4. So I do like that trade, particularly playing the Gold Coast this week. Saw what Tommy Turbo did to them last Sunday afternoon. So home game, Sunday afternoon, the Hammer, it could be, one to get on. Angus Crichton, he's been a gun second row all year, so if you're looking for a second row upgrade, you could definitely get him in. And Fanua-Blake, at his price, represents decent value. Probably, bottomed out somewhat in price. So, yeah, if you haven't got him in, decent enough trade. Reece Walsh, if you're looking for a point of difference at fullback, I do rate him. He'll feature in the pod chat that I've got coming up. Payne Haas, again, can bring him in. Little question mark about whether he plays. I think he'll play. With a break-even of 100, though, he is another one that you could wait on a week, potentially, if you're playing head-to-head. Harry Grant, so for those looking to upgrade a hooker, just go straight to the top. Makes absolute sense. And Dave Fafita, again, another one, if you haven't got, absolutely get on board. Even when, the team's outgunned, he returns 88s. In terms of the trade-outs, Sam Walker traded out. So obviously a lot of people just going to Cleary. I think that's fine. Dylan Brown being traded out. I guess a lot of people think without Moses and particularly playing the Storm this week, Dylan Brown could be the one to go. I'd still argue he's an elite 5/8 option. And particularly, if the attack is going to centre around him, any positives that come out of it, you'd imagine he'd have some sort of hand in that. So I'd be willing to hold, but I can understand if he's in your halfback slot, you've already got, maybe a Jaden Campbell and the Cody Walker or some sort of combination at 5'8" that you're really happy with, um, then maybe it stands to reason that you could trade him out. Tyron Wishart, I think, yeah, with Munster sniffing around, he's apparently been elevated to the bench. I think he's going to be elevated to the run-on side if he is fit to go, in which case Wishart will become, that utility that we know him as, and all that value will disappear. So probably a perfect time to cash him out, particularly, if you're trading to Cleary. That's a pretty nice trade. Jacob Gagai, he's sort of made his money for us, so you can definitely trade him out this week. You can upgrade or downgrade, again, whatever your team needs. Nico Hines, so obviously trade him to Cleary if you've got him. Jaden Campbell, a few people might sort of, take the money and run. At that price, I think you're making money to trade to Cleary through a 5/8 duel. So I don't mind that trade. Um, other than that, just because they're playing the Dolphins doesn't mean there's not attacking upside there for the likes of Jaden Campbell. So could potentially hold also. Blaze Talangi, I guess, yep, you can sell. He's peaked in price. If you're looking to make some cash or upgrade, no problems there. Fletcher Sharp, you can absolutely get rid of now if you haven't already done so. And Dylan Edwards is an interesting one. Obviously, still a few weeks away with the knee injury, but I guess, unless you're comfortable with not bringing him back into your team, then you could trade him out. A couple more. Hopewadi, yeah, out injured, can go. Will Price on the bye this week, didn't play last week, so could probably go. Mitchell Moses, yep, can go. And Kale Iro, probably another one who's done his job for us, so he can go. Bradman Best out injured, hamstring, so yeah, I think you can cut him as well. Captains, almost forgot. So the top option this week, I guess, people bringing in Cleary, but then also captaining him, which I think makes sense, and definitely one of the moves I will make this week. James Tedesco, I guess if you've got him, he's always in that conversation. Ditto for Tom Trbojevic. Probably a tougher matchup this week, but he is capable of doing great things. Dave Fafita, obviously, if you like the Titans' chances of bouncing back, he could be at the forefront of that. Ruben Garrick, again, sort of in line with Tommy Trbojevic, probably not one for this week, may just be held over from last week. Nico Hines, obviously, I didn't change this to the top 10%, did I? The people that are actually still playing properly. Let's flip that. So the top 5 is the same. The Hammer at number 6, again against the Gold Coast Titans. I don't hate that. Jaden Campbell, so Sunday Arvo footy is always a good chance of a big score. So yeah, Jaden Campbell if you're brave enough. Jerome Hughes against Para, I don't hate that. He's been playing really well. Para, not so much. So could definitely be a chance. Jermaine Osako, copy and paste what we said about the other Titans Dolphins options. And Reece Walsh against the Bulldogs. I guess if you've got him, it makes sense. He's very expensive and does have the upside, but the Bulldogs have proven to be quite solid defensively this year, so I don't see it personally. Mitch Barnett there at number 11. I reckon a VC shout in the first game. Something if you have him, you could confidently VC, but I'd use that second chance on the captain. In terms of VC, so Adam Fanua-Blake obviously playing tonight. Tonight against the Tigers is a big chance. Ryan Pappenhausen, yep, he's got history against Para, so it could go well. Cody Walker, if you like him against the Raiders, they play fairly early in the week. RTS tonight against the Tigers, so any of those Warriors backs, if they do a similar job to what the Sharks did, could be a good shout. And Dom Young's always in the conversation, so we don't need to discuss that. So I guess in terms of how that affects my team, it's really not too different since the lockout. Um, it was always going to be Plath out for Cleary. That was never in doubt. If we can find him, around 20 points, there he is. And obviously, we do need to make the trade to make some money, so it's still Gagai out. I guess the difference this time, if we go by break even, I did just have like enough in there, but we will get on McLean. Might potentially need him, but he's probably centre wing 7 on the list I've got anyway. So if we have a look at the team, again, it'll pretty well stack up the same as what I had in the round review from Monday. So we'll just swap on Burton, Dylan Brown. So Para plays tonight, so Burton can stay on the bench. Cleary is captain. I've already sort of telegraphed that. Lomax in, so looking at the team, it's pretty strong. Pretty happy with where it's at. We've got Tedesco and Turbo at the back. Our 4 keepers are all available finally in the centre wing, and we've got Talangi Euro as backup. Potentially could even upgrade, Talangi to a Holmes or something with the bit of bank we've got. But it might just be more a case of we've got a few trades we can sub in if we need to. Cleary, Brown, Burton, and even Jai Gray's doing a little job for us at the moment. So, the last upgrade might be him up to a final sort of half that we need just to flesh it out. Second row stacked. We've got, Fafita, Crichton, Katoa, Nikora, all guns. Josh Curran, he covers front row as well, but good role at the moment. Would be happy to play him most weeks. I just literally can't fit him in this week. Haas, Fanua, Blake up front. Curran and Finu as cover, so that's perfect. Harry Grant and Reid Marnie at hooker. So I feel like I've completed my team. I've still got 4 trades for injuries, so all in all, this has worked out pretty well. Obviously, now we just need the guys to do the business and lift the rank. I forgot to set the VC properly, and because he's the only one I've got, I'm going Fanua Blake against the Tigers. Probably would need a decent score, probably in excess of the 103 he scored last week to remove the C there. So that's the classic team anyway. I guess probably the slightly more interesting one potentially could be the draft in the coming weeks. So that's the wrong league. I should have prepared. So just trying to update what's happened with my team. Just trying to remember what's happened with my team. So I picked up Bostock in the waiver wire. I did apply for a couple of others that popped up, but they went pretty quickly this week. Papali was one, and the other one escapes me. It was another second rower, I think. Just trying to flesh the second row out a bit. Didn't quite work out for me, so I got Connor Tracy on the free agency. He got the second round of waivers, so probably play him in my centre wing. Actually, I'll leave Leia against the Tigers. Maybe Cherry out, Tracy in. See how that goes. Whiten and Sammy. So the centre wing has always been the issue this season, but I've got a bit of cover there. Maybe I should play Bostock as well against the Titans. So maybe over Tracy. But now I've got Paps back. Now I've got Cleary back. It looks a little bit better, the team. The flex, tossing up between Martin and Weeks, but again, the matchup, I think, sort of pushes it towards Martin this week. And then the forwards, I did bring Liam Martin in as well, so hopefully he goes all right this week. Travojevic and Bole, I might actually swap them around. I think Travojevic will be a bit quieter against the Roosters. So Bole's in. Barnett is VC because he can do absolutely anything. And I've got Carl Lawton sitting at hooker. He's playing on the edge, so hopefully another 60. And hopefully Marshall King's back sooner rather than later. I am struggling at hooker as well. But that's the draft league. I don't know if I looked at the ladder and that the other day, but basically I'm struggling. I think I'm done as far as head to head goes, or the final series, I should say. Yeah, there's only 2 more weeks, and what am I? 2 wins or 1 win out of the five. I think it's top five for the finals. It's like the old final system. But Liam's well and truly in. I think Dan, you're safe, and Matt and Katrina are definitely pretty comfortable. And then, yeah, maybe just an outside chance of knocking Shano or Jordan out for fifth spot. But I guess finally having a fit team, there's a chance. So, I guess speaking of draft, I'll just use this video, a little plug um, for those that are interested in NFL drafts. Mate of mine runs an NFL draft league. We've had it for a few years. It's a good bit of fun. We do an auction style draft, which is a bit different. So if you're interested, let me know in the comment section, and I'll hit you up with the details. The draft is on the 10th of August, so a couple of weeks' time. And if you're in Brisbane, we can even maybe give you the dates and we can link up and yeah, you can be a part of the live action. It's a good night out with a few of the mates and yeah, we do a bit of drafting in between. So yeah, just plug that for anyone that is interested in drafting that sort of thing. There's the NFL draft. I'll probably start pumping up NFL sort of snake drafts. Like the usual format. We'll try and get one off the ground this year. Just trying to find a bit of time in my schedule to pump out a few videos looking at the positions and current rankings and that sort of thing. But yeah, I guess if you're interested in all that, obviously subscribe to the channel. As I said, any questions, comments, thoughts about NRL, NFL, whatever, add them below this video. I guess the like as well if you enjoy the SuperCoach stuff in particular. But other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.